found a way. Thought I found a way, yeah. But you never go away. So I guess I gotta stay now. Oh, I hope someday I'll make it out of there, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one there. Wanna feel alive outside. I can't find my fear. Isn't it lovely? All alone, heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin and bone. Hello, welcome home. Walking out of town, looking for a better place. Something's on my mind, always in my head space. But I know someday I'll make it out of there, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one there. Wanna feel alive outside. I can't find my fear. Isn't it lovely? All alone, heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin and bone. Hello, welcome home.
I'm not fully prepared. I thought I was fully prepared, then I realised my mic was nowhere near me. I thought I was fully prepared, and then it turns out my mic was nowhere near me, ladies and gentlemen. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Nathaniel Talks Ball is officially back after I put the show on hiatus because it was too hot in my room to stream. Like, guys, I'm sorry. You know, I like to say that I'm dedicated to the cause. I like to say that I take the YouTube thing seriously. I like to say that I am the most professional guy on this platform. But it was too hot to have my light on. Yeah? And I look extremely chopped when the light is not on. So I just thought, you know what? We're not going to do the live show. I could have done an audio show. But what is Nathaniel Knows Ball without Nathaniel's face? Do you know what I mean? Like, especially with like how much I talk with my hands. Like, imagine watching one of my videos, yeah, or listening to one of my videos and not watching the visuals. You're missing out on so much communication with me just waving my hands around like a bit of a madman. Do you know what I mean? Like, where is my Maresca money, bro? You know what? Yeah. You know what, KG, right? I will do a GoFundMe to fund us giving you £100 million to not sell us Enzo Fernandez. I'll make sure Chelsea receive £100 million to not sell us Enzo Fernandez. Because if you criminals decide to sell Enzo Fernandez to my football club, right? I'm done with the sport, bro. I don't want to have to watch a football match where I am, I am non-directly, yeah, like indirectly supporting Enzo Fernandez. Like, if I'm being so serious, I said this in my video, yeah, where I reacted to what Rory said about Enzo, yeah. If City sign Enzo, I will boo every single touch he takes. And I'll be doing live watch-alongs for basically every game next season. So if we have Enzo, you will be hearing me booing, bro. It will happen. We'll have a boo counter on the stream because I don't need him at my football club. Enzo Fernandez and Malo Gusto can stay so far away from my football club, yeah. We gave you Tosin, we gave you Lavia, we gave you Dilap, we gave you Sancho when you had Sancho for a bit, we gave you Rodgers, we gave you Palmer. You know, we produced all of these talents for you to later buy from many different sources, right? Obviously, you gave us De Bruyne, you gave us Ake. But more importantly, you could do the right thing and thank us for all of those talents that we developed for you. Like Tosin and Dilap. Two of the best players in the Premier League. You can repay that by not selling us Enzo and Malo Gusto. Because if I have to watch Malo Gusto play for my team, or if I have to watch Enzo Fernandez play for my team, it's going to be a long day for everybody. Everybody's going to be hearing from me, and it's not going to be positive stuff you're going to be hearing from me. I will actually rename my channel to Nathaniel Hates Football if we sign Enzo Fernandez and Malo Gusto. I will come on here and I'll start talking about golf, bro. Like, you'll have me doing live watch-alongs of the Australian Open. You'll have me, like, preying on Sinner's downfall because he's a drug cheat. That's what you'll have me doing if City sign those players, man. Because I just can't do it. I can't do it. You know. There are some players that I dislike, but I can get behind them when they play for my team. You know. But I don't think Enzo Fernandez would do that for me. And I've watched so much Malo Gusto. KG, let me tell you something. Right. So you played Forest last season, right? You played Forest last season, and my friend Joe is a Chelsea fan, right? Malo Gusto gets a yellow card. I think you beat Forest 3-0. Malo Gusto gets a yellow card, and I message him, and I'm like, bro, Malo Gusto is getting sent off. Now that Malo Gusto's got that yellow card, I'm telling you, Malo Gusto's getting sent off. And what does he do, KG? What does he do? He goes in for the craziest tackle I've ever seen while on a yellow card and gets himself sent off. And I knew before then that I didn't rate Malo Gusto. But it was like cemented then that I definitely did not rate him. And then when he scored against Wolves, when I thought you actually played quite bad against Wolves, despite winning, what, 3 or 4-0, and everyone was gassing him up saying he played so good because he scored a goal. I was like, bro, I can't take people seriously when they're saying a right back played good because he got a goal. He was absolutely honking. Big up FT, man. Big up. How's it going, bro? How's it going? Good to see you in chat. Good to see you in chat. I think that's my Chelsea rant over. I don't think I have anything else I need to say about Chelsea. I think I can wrap that one up. I'm trying to just quickly brainstorm to see if anything else comes to my mind that I dislike about Chelsea Football Club. I do think that's it. I don't think they've got any other players that I like I don't rate at all. Obviously there was Garnacho, but he's now a Villa player because Villa have lost their minds. Like Villa have completely lost the plot. Yeah, there was Garnacho. I think that's it. I don't think there's any of them that are really... Oh, I don't like Neto. Like, watching Pedro Neto play football makes me angry. Like, I think Pedro Neto is worse than Savinho. And I don't know if that's a hot take, guys. Like, I don't know if what I'm saying to you right now is a hot take. Is Pedro Neto better than Savinho or not? Is my question to you. One moment. I've just forgot to do something quickly that relates to the stream. So give me like 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Because I am Mr. Unprepared, bro. Because that's just me. That's just me, you know. Like, when am I ever prepped for any... Garnacho ain't our problem anymore. Bro. I need to learn from Todd Bowley. I need to take lessons from Todd Bowley. Because how do you get rid of Garnacho and João Felix? and we're stuck with Calvin Phillips and Grealish. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, Calvin Phillips has been nothing short of atrocious, bro. But I'm telling you, if Calvin Phillips had the exact same career he had at Man City, at Chelsea, Todd Bowley would have still found a way to get 30 million for him. I'm telling you right now. I'm not even lying when I say that, yeah. That's not even me being hyperbolic, yeah. If Phillips, his career played out the exact same way it has right now, but he played for Chelsea, Todd Bowley is selling him for 30 plus million pounds. I'm telling you, bro. Like, these guys are able to sell Garnacho and João Felix. They got a decent chunk of change for João Felix. These guys could sell anybody, bro. These guys could sell Mudryk for 50 million plus pounds. I'm telling you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I need to find out these sales tactics, these pitches that Todd Bowley is giving to these clubs in negotiation that makes them, you know, is he just approaching clubs being like, yo, like, see this here? Do you want that? I paid this much for it. I can sell you it for a marked down price. Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get how does it happen? Like, how does this happen? We're stuck with Grealish and Phillips. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been loaning Phillips out for an eternity. Like, Phillips signed for us in 2022 and he's had 3 failed loan spells in that time. Like, are we deep in this? But if he played for Chelsea, bro, he's sold in like that. As soon as he goes on the market, it's just bang, bro. It's just bang. Like, I need to know what's going on. Like, someone needs to enlighten me. But anyway, I'm a bit off topic. You know, I've spent this first 12 minutes ranting and raving about stuff that's really not important. You know, I've just went on a Chelsea rant because every single time that KG, you're mocking it, man. You're mocking it. 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 But nah, FT, I was actually, that was the topic of today's stream before I interrupted myself. I was actually wanting to talk about Rodri, right? Because Rodri's stressing me out. Rodri's my GOAT. We all know I love Rodri. You know, we've got the Rodrigo shirt back here somewhere. As you can see in my profile picture, I wore this to the Bernabeu, yeah? Oh, bro, it's not on the hanger properly, bro. Bro, that's not presentable, big man. That's not presentable. But anyway, yeah, we've got the Rodrigo shirt, yeah, you know, Rodri's my GOAT. We've got the Mazzala Designs print. Oh, you can't even see it. We've got the Mazzala Designs print. Mazzala Designs, damn, if I could speak English. Of Rodri's goal in the Champions League final. Rodri is my GOAT, right? If Rodri has no fans left on this earth, I am dead, ladies and gentlemen, right? If I could, I'd swap that Foden shirt for a signed Rodri shirt. Rodri changed my life. Like, before Rodri, I was hearing Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. But Rodri put an end to that. He did. So Rodri's my GOAT. But yeah, no. So obviously, Rodri, Real Madrid, they've been flirting for a while, you know. Rodri and Real Madrid is like you and that one John that, like, you like. She probably also likes you. But neither of you wanna, like, what is it? Neither of you want to pursue your interest. So you're just flirting with this John just flirting with you, and you know, you're just keeping it at that. Like, everyone knows you're flirting, everybody knows you want each other, but neither of you are wanting to take that next step. You know, I can imagine you've all been there. KG, I can imagine you have definitely been there, right? I can tell you've definitely been there. But yeah, that's what Rodri and Real Madrid were like, you know, like, it was a will they won't they situation, right? And then obviously Thomas Partey comes along and injures my GOAT, tries to kill my GOAT. He's out for however long it was. What we're saying, 8 months. Was it 8 months? 7-8 months with the ACL injury. Comes back, gets injured again, does his hamstring, and we're obviously seeing glimpses of Rodri being back to his best, but we're not really seeing it too often like that, you know. Like, He's taking time to build up some pace. You know, he's still having some injury issues that are unrelated to his knee. And then the World Cup happens, and he goes crazy. He goes crazy. Like, big up Fabian Ruiz, yeah? Big up Fabian Ruiz. I don't want to take any credit away from him, right? But Rodri himself was playing like a one-man midfield. And then you've got some guy next to him that is also balling out. Like, how are you beating? How are you actually meant to beat that? When one guy is playing like 3 midfielders by himself, and then you've got another guy that is also playing good football next to him. How do you beat that? You just can't. It's not, you know, you can't do it. So he does that off the back of recovering from his ACL, and we all see, bro, Rodri's back. Rodri's back. Right, he's had this contract in front of him for a good while now. You know, the talks of him, is he going to renew his contract, is he not going to renew his contract? It's been going on for well over a year now, right? This Rodri contract situation is nothing new, right? We've been knowing that these contract negotiations have been going on, right? We've been knowing this, right? We have. But, obviously, it now takes a more, like, sort of prevalent view in people's minds after the World Cup that he's had, right? He's had a crazy World Cup. You know, everyone's remember how good Rodri is. You know, he's one player of the tournament at the World Cup. He's one player of the tournament at the last Euros. This guy's unstoppable, bro. This guy's unstoppable. Thomas Partey should have killed him, bro. Because that injury, bro, gave him one of the most career-ruining injuries you can have as a midfielder in football. And it didn't stop him, bro. It didn't stop him. It didn't stop him. He's back, right? But Partey should have just killed him, bro. Because he's back. Do you know what I mean? So he comes back. Everyone realizes that he's still got it, bro. Unc still has it. Despite the fact that he does kind of move like a cement mixer, you know, like a huge truck. He's still got it, like, footballing wise. He's still the one of the best, if not the best midfielder in the world. And then bam, the Real Madrid interest is back, right? Rodri obviously can't keep his mouth shut and is always talking about how he wants to go back to Spain, wants to go back to Madrid, which is obviously understandable, you know, that's where he's from. And obviously he has a huge desire to go back to Madrid, like I said. He doesn't want to stay in the Premier League because the Premier League is too sort of demanding on his body, right? It's too demanding on his body. It's, you know, it's giving him a hard time, basically. You know, like he could go to one of these other leagues like La Liga, rack up a few more trophies, and have to do half of the physical labor you have to do in the Premier League, because the Premier League is taxing on your body, bro. Like, people always talk about, oh, I'd love to see Dembele or Neymar in the Premier League, bro. They wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes, bro. Like, the Premier League is so physically demanding. Like, you look at the players in this league, bro. How many pure footballers that have raw footballing talent and raw footballing talent alone do we see in this league? It's just a bunch of athletes and thugs. You know, respect to the ballers in the league, the people that can actually ball out in the league. But it's just a bunch of athletes, bro. Marathon runners, yeah, and thugs. We got long distance runners and GBH specialists in this league. We don't have footballers, bro. We don't. You know, it's sad to say, you know, we used to have some certified ballers in this league, but now it is just GBH specialists and long distance runners, right? And that's why when you see Premier League teams play these bigger European teams in the Champions League, their midfield is just mad. Because when you've got physical midfielders coming up against physical midfielders in the Premier League, you know, it's pretty even. But when you've got these diminutive little Portuguese men that play for PSG, just ping, 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 round your absolute giants, right? That have the turning circle of a aircraft carrier. Like, bro, you can ping the ball past Joe Linton 4 times before he even realises the balls went past him once, because of how slow his turning circle is, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Joe Linton's a demon in the Premier League because he's coming up against people that also play that same physical bully mentality football. But when he's coming up against these true ballers, right? When he's coming up against these actual ballers in the Champions League, the ball is just getting zipped past them and they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Rodri wants to go back to Spain to play in a league which is, you know, a lot less taxing on his body. He feels like, you know, he'll be back home, he'll be playing for the biggest club in the world, and he won't be playing in the league that is running him into the ground, right? And that is fair when you actually think about what he's been through the last few years. That is a completely understandable thing, right? So the question is Rodri going to sign a new contract, or are Real Madrid going to come in with a bid this summer, and are we going to accept it? Because obviously there are rumours that Perez is blocking the move for Rodri. You know, Perez is the one that's saying, no, we're not doing this, big man. Which at first sounds mental. At first sounds mental, and you're looking at it going, has Perez lost his mind? Why would he not want to sign the guy that is just one player of the tournament at the World Cup and captained the nation in which your club is based in to the World Cup, right? This guy's a Ballon d'Or winner, you know? Like, that's Real Madrid coded. Why would you want to block a move for that, right? But then you realise that his contract's running out, right? And there's been a contract in front of Rodri for a while. There has been, you know? And even with him now winning the World Cup, captaining his nation to the World Cup and winning player of the tournament, that bumps the wages he can demand, like the wage he can demand, up even higher. So it gives City a headache in negotiations, right? Because the ball's all in Rodri's court. So, do you want to spend 100+ million on a guy that's contract's about to run out, or do you want to just let his contract run out if he wants Real Madrid that much and then sign him on the free? It is basically how you got to look at it from the Perez point of view. And of course, you look at Konate, you look at Trent. You know, they're players that Real Madrid could have signed them if they wanted to, but they didn't. They waited until their contract was done and then they signed him as a free agent. Now, bro, I do think Real Madrid want Rodri. I just don't think Real Madrid want to buy Rodri. They'd rather sign him as a free agent than buy Rodri, because the option is there. Like, he's basically begging for Madrid at this point, right? Which is unfortunate. He's basically begging for Madrid at this point, which is very, very unfortunate, right? So when you got a player basically begging to join you, right, and his contract's up in like a year, are you going to want to drop the 100+ million pounds on him, or are you just going to wait that year, right? And let's say Real Madrid even come in for a bid, right? Let's say Real Madrid even come in for a bid. This might sound mad, right? So, you know, hold on to your hats, because I might be about to say something crazy, right? And you might all tell me I've lost my mind and I need to be sectioned, right? But let's say Real Madrid come in for 100 million bid for Rodri right now. I reject that. Have Rodri for an extra year. Help Enzo settle in. He's literally the best midfielder in the world. Help Enzo settle in. Help Anderson settle in. And then ship him on the free if he doesn't want to sign the contract. Because I think Rodri for one season is worth more to City, not any other club, just City. Speaking like specifically about City, Rodri for a season is more important than 100 million pounds. I think that's true. So I would rather reject any bid for Rodri this summer and have, let's say, him not sign the contract, keep him for an extra year, let him leave on a free. You know, I think that's more beneficial than selling him. If I'm honest, I think that's more beneficial than selling him. You guys might call me mad, you might think I'm crazy, but I think Rodri in the squad, especially coming off the back of the World Cup he's just had, Rodri in the squad for an extra year, well, Man City transition into the Enzo era, Anderson needs to settle into the squad. I think Rodri in that squad for the extra year is more important than the 100 million pounds. Am I crazy for saying that? Let me know if I'm crazy for saying that. I might have lost my mind, bro. It's been a long day. It's been a very, very long day for me. The heat might have got to me. I might have lost my mind. Let me know. Who do I think is going to win the Ballon d'Or? Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane's going to win the Ballon d'Or. If I'm honest. If out of all the candidates, I think it's Harry Kane, Rodri and Lamine Yamal. They're the three I look at. I'd want it to be Rodri again. I don't think it's going to be Rodri. I think it's Harry Kane or Lamine Yamal, and I think it'll probably be Harry Kane. Apparently, I've seen that. I don't know if we've actually done that. I see a lot of YD news, and I don't know how sort of reliable it is, because again, he's one of those players that has a good World Cup, and he gets linked with everyone, and apparently everybody's sort of agreed personal terms with him. It's one of those, right? Bro, Mbappe went trophyless, bro. I don't actually care how many goals and assists Mbappe got in a season. Mbappe went trophyless for the second season in a row with Real Madrid. I don't care how many goals or assists he got. This guy went trophyless with Real Madrid and France in a World Cup year. I'm so sorry. I can't be saying that deserves Ballon d'Or. I don't care about the stats. He could have scored 100 million goals this year. Going trophyless with Real Madrid is crazy business. Why Man City taking so long to sell Savinho? Because for some reason we want to keep Savinho. Really? For some reason we want to keep Savinho. And we're now getting lower bids than we got last summer because Spurs have realised that Savinho's not that good. Like, they haven't realised that he's bad enough for them not to want to sign him. They've just realised he's bad enough to lower the sum. So we're taking ages, right? We need to hurry up and sell him. He clearly does not want to be at the club and fight for his spot and show his worth. And we might as well cash in on him now. And if he comes good at Spurs or another club, I wish him all the best. But what we will not do on this channel, and what we should not do as a fan base, is sit there when Savinho goes to another club and starts playing well with the whole, oh, why did we sell Savinho? We've lost our minds. It's another Cole Palmer situation. This is our De Bruyne moment. This is our Salah moment. I will not be engaging in any of that chat. And if I see anybody engaging in that chat after we sell Savinho and he potentially goes on and succeeds at another club, I will be banning them from my chat. I'll be blocking them on Twitter, and I will be reporting them to the local authorities. Because we will not be engaging in that sort of revisionism on Savinho. I thought Savinho had a good first season at the club. But what I saw from Savinho last season, what I can gather from his attitude, from some of the things that have been reported about him, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. And if it does happen, I don't think it's going to be here. I don't think it's going to be here. Why are we trying to find replacements for Savinho when we already have enough forwards? Probably because we don't know if Marmoush is actually going to stay. Like, obviously there's been reports that Marmoush wants to leave. So, again, Marmoush allegedly wants to leave. Semenyo is not a winger, he's an inside forward. So we'd be selling a winger, and we already got rid of a winger in Oscar Bob in January. So that would leave us with just one natural winger in Doku, because Marmoush is an inside forward, Semenyo is an inside forward, and neither of them can do touchline shifts. So let's say we sell Savinho and we want to play with pure width. We want to play with pure width. We want to be stretching the defensive line. We want to be doing touchline shifts. We want to be dragging men out wide. You can't really do that with Semenyo on the right. Semenyo is so ineffective off the touchline. You just back off him and you know he's going to dribble the ball into you. Like, I think Semenyo is really, really good in the box. I think Semenyo is an excellent finisher, a two-footed player. Really, really good in front of goal. He has that killer instinct that not many players have. Like I said, I think there's only 3 people in the City team that have that killer instinct. I think that's Marmoush, Haaland, and Semenyo. You could potentially put Foden in there. You could debate that. You know, I wouldn't say you're a madman for throwing Foden in that mix, but for me, it's 3 players that have that killer instinct. Semenyo is one of them. But he's just not a demon on the ball, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to be if you're a madman, if you're a gunman in front of goal, you don't have to be a demon on the ball. You know, as much as City fans will have you believe that you have to be like a master of all trades on the wing. You know, City fans will have you believe that, and they'll tell you that Semenyo's not good enough because he might score 100 million goals but he can't dribble. But then they'll also tell you that Doku's not good enough because he might complete 1 million take-ons in a game but he won't score, right? So, like, Not everybody's Riyad Mahrez. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Not everybody's Riyad Mahrez, right? We have this revisionism over Riyad Mahrez, and don't get me wrong, Riyad Mahrez is my goal. Big up Riyad Mahrez every single time, right? But let's not act like you, man, in the City fan base rated Mahrez like that when he was here. So many man hated Mahrez and wanted Mahrez gone ever since he signed. So that's the one thing I hate about the Mahrez revisionism, yeah. Like, of course, I'm happy that my GOAT, yeah, my favourite ever player, is getting his flowers finally that he deserves. But in the manner it's happening is crazy work, right? It's crazy. None of you were thinking this about Mahrez when he was playing at the club. Do you know what I mean? Do you think selling to Mane would be a good choice for Madrid? I don't know what Madrid need, if I'm honest. I don't know what they need. The only thing I would have said they needed was new defenders, because their defence was a mess. And they've signed that. They've signed Konate, Dumfries. Obviously, they want Diaz as well. They were looking at Vardio. They signed Cucurella. And I said they needed a manager that's going to take no shit. And that's what they got in Mourinho. So they got two of the things I said they needed. I don't know where else they need to improve. I don't really watch Real Madrid like that, if I'm honest. I hate watching Real Madrid. I'm tired of watching Real Madrid. I hope I do not need to watch Real Madrid next season. I probably will, because this is Manchester City we're talking about. But yeah, you know, I don't know what Madrid need. I don't know what Madrid need. Yeah, but, you know, I think I've covered everything I need to say on Rodri as well. I think, you know, excellent player, the best midfielder in the world. And I think it'd be more important and more beneficial for City to keep him for a year than accept on a £100 million bid. Because if let's say we get that £100 million, what are we spending that on? We're not spending that on anything that's going to give us anywhere near the levels of performances Rodri give us. So if we have Rodri for that extra season, and we have him help settle Anderson in, you know, he helps Maresca, because Maresca doesn't, like, you know, he can rely on Rodri just holding down the midfield on his ones. Helps Anderson settle in. Like, it's a, you know, it's a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer for me, but again, let me know. Who do you think wins the Community Shield? Hopefully Arsenal, because then they won't win the league. You know, we know the Community Shield curse is real. But obviously, I'd love City to win it, man. Like, Maresca winning his first bit of silverware, in his first game at the club would be brilliant stuff. But you know, my joke answer is I want Arsenal to win it because of the Community Shield curse. But of course, for me, it has to be City, and I think City do win it, man. I think City do win it. You know, last time we played Arsenal in the Community Shield, we lost. Obviously, then we went on to win the league. We beat them at Wembley in the Carabao Cup final, and we need to get back for the league title. Obviously, winning the Community Shield is not really the revenge you want after losing out the league title to them, but you know, it's a start, innit? It's a start. Look what happened to Liverpool last season. Lost the Community Shield, but still ended up having a terrible season. Yeah, that's an anomaly, though. That's an anomaly. Like, that's an anomaly to the curse. Who do you think wins the Champions League next year? PSG, because they just basically filled a bunch of bums in their league. You know, they basically play their B team the whole league season, still win the league, and then just play all those demons, those Champions League demons in the UCL. So how do you think PSG get their fixtures moved all the time? PSG have the Champions League cheat code. They dominate their league to such a level where they don't need to field their starters, right? But it's not enough for them to dominate their league to a level where they don't need to field their starters for 90% of the games they play. They will still then, in the knockout stages of the Champions League, use their power over the league, because the league want to have good representation in Europe. Yeah, they will then use their power over the league to get fixtures moved. Fixtures they weren't even going to use the same players in the starting 11 that they'd use in their Champions League game, just so their players that they're going to bring off the bench are going to be fully fit for the game. Like, are we deeping the levels of manipulation they are doing to win this back-to-back Champions League? Like, and I'm glad people have finally clocked it, bro. I'm glad people have finally clocked it, because PSG have been doing this for a while, yeah, but they haven't been winning the Champions League, so no one talked about it. But now that they've clocked the system, yeah, and they've got the method down to a T, UEFA need to patch this method, bro. They need to. or else it's a long day for everybody. Because how do you actually compete with that, yeah? They've got a star-studded starting 11 that they play in the Champions League, yeah? Bar their goalkeeper. I think they got world beaters in every position, bar their goalkeeper, yeah? And then those players only play the Champions League. Their backups play in the league. And then, even though their backups play in the league, they get games postponed, so they have extra rest for their big Champions League. How do you compete with that? Someone please tell me. If, bro, like, imagine if City tried to do that. We'd get steamrolled. Bro, like, the Premier League would tell us to jog. The Premier League told us to jog on anyway when we tried to get fixtures moved at the end of last season, right? They told us to jog on. And that was fixtures moved. They were still going to be played on the same days. It was just going to be different games, right? So we were trying to get fixtures moved. Yeah, Premier League told us to jog on. And then look what happens when we start a B team. We get steamrolled. We get steamrolled with our starting 11 on the pitch. Our main starting 11. Imagine trying that nonsense in the Premier League, bro. It just wouldn't fly. Like, it's mad. It's mad how they're doing that. Do you know what I mean? But guys, we're half an hour into the stream. Yeah, it's probably only going to be an hour stream. Because I had a long day today. But I wanted to get on for an hour and, you know, just talk this Rodri news and this Foden news. So obviously, like the stream if you haven't already. You know, it really does help push the stream out to everybody. We're going to have the Nathaniel Talks Ball series back weekly. We're going to have it back weekly, guys. Yeah. Yeah, so like the stream and obviously subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Why is it suddenly about PSG? Oh, because I got... Bro, you know how it goes around here, man. I'll get asked a question, yeah? And then that question... In answering that question, I'll stumble upon some sort of opinion that I'm passionate about. And then I'll go off on a tangent. A passionate tangent. It's usually a passionate rant. Guys, you've got to remember, this happens every single time. How many times will I be cooking, bro? Will I be cooking and then someone will come and distract me and I'll go off on a complete different side tangent? Yeah. So I got asked who was going to win the Champions League. And then it just set me off on how PSG have the craziest meta known to man in the Champions League right now. Like. But yeah. But, you know, the second topic of today's stream was obviously Phil Foden. Phil Foden has signed a new contract until 2030, right? We'll have a little look at this. I want to say it's this one. I want to say I've clicked the right one here. Yeah. Obviously, see here, right? See here. Phil Foden has signed a new contract for Manchester City until June 2030 with an option for a further season, right? We're always fighting for the next title or challenge that the club we want to be. That's the club we want to be. Okay, turns out I'm dyslexic. We want to be a massive club competing for all trophies, and you can see the attitude of the players even in the first couple of training sessions that we're raring to go again and try win trophies. So, how are we feeling about Phil Foden signing a new contract? How are we feeling? Obviously, after the last two poor seasons he's had. How are we feeling about Foden signing a new deal? Because I'm very conflicted on this. I say I'm conflicted. I wanted him to sign a new deal. I would never want Phil Foden to leave Man City. But there's some cons to this, right? I'll quickly answer a question in chat. I do not have a Discord yet, but I will be setting one up because I want to start doing call-ins, bro. I want to start doing call-ins. Have a little talk sport sort of kind of vibe going on a few of the shows because some of you guys trigger the life out of me in chat and will say some absolute nonsense. So instead of me going off on a tangent, yeah, and ranting about whatever you say in chat, I'll just get you to call in, bro, and I can just show you guys how much of an idiot you guys are sometimes with some of the stuff you try rage bait me with. So the Discord, not now, but there will be a Discord soon, and you'll be able to call into the show. You know, Nathaniel debates ball. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah. Anyway, back to Foden, right? So, of course, Foden. Always have to preface this. The signed Foden shirt in the wall, bro. If Foden has no fans on this earth, I'm dead. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But that doesn't mean I'm going to blindly defend Phil Foden. That never ever means I'm going to blindly defend Phil Foden. Because I'd be an idiot. You know, I'd be an idiot. You know, he had very good moments last season. Around November, December. You know, he was playing some football and then suddenly forgot how to play football again, right? And there's been things I've said about Foden. I think, you know, he was being a bit too timid and a bit too scared on the edge of the box in positions where he'd usually shoot. You know, that area in and around the edge of the box, around the D, where he just opened up his body and shoot. You know, cash money every single time in the 2023-24 season, and that's why he won PFA Player of the Season, right? He was shying away from shooting in those positions. He was hesitating on the ball. He was taking too much time, and it was leading for him to be dispossessed. You know, my main criticisms of Phil is just that he wasn't taking as many risks as he used to. He wasn't playing with as much confidence, right? And of course, I'd never want him to leave City. He's our original star boy, you know? Having him at City benefits us no matter what. No matter even if he's not performing well. Because he is the original star boy, you know. When you think of the Man City Academy and what the Man City Academy can produce, you always think of Phil Foden first. You don't think of Palmer, you don't think of Rodgers, you don't think of Sancho, you don't think of Delap, you don't think of O'Reilly, you don't think of any of these men, you think of Phil Foden. He is the City Academy in a nutshell. He's what people think of. The same way that when you look at Arsenal, you think of Saka. When you look at Chelsea, you think of Reece James. When you look at United, you think of Rashford. When you look at Liverpool, you think of Trent. You think of all these players that, as of recent, you know, they are the main man that came through their academy, and they're the reason that parents will be sending their players to this academy so they can have the next Phil Foden, the next Trent. You know, that's the package that will be sold to you, right? So having him here is always good for our image, always good for our brand, right? But now that he's signed this contract, he has to start playing football, bro. I need to see Phil Foden back to his best, or else it's a long day. Like, I can't be dealing with these mediocre performances from Foden anymore, bro. Because it reflects badly on me. Like, I'm a staunch Phil Foden defender, bro. Man are always getting on to me, going, oh, where's Phil gone? Why's your boy not playing well, bro? And every day I'm still repping this Foden shirt. I come on shows, bro. I'll come on a show with Judge Mo, yeah? Shout out Judge Mo, and I'll get cooked because Foden's had a stinker and I've got this shirt in the back. Do you know what I mean? And I still back him every time. But sometimes it gets indefensible. And if he has another bad season this season under Maresca, then it is going to be indefensible, because no one can say that Pep was limited in the last 2 seasons. No one can say that. It's a confidence issue. Well, how can you be that low on confidence for 2, almost 3 years? Do you know what I mean? Like, you have one purple patch in 2 years, and that lasted a month. And you're meant to be a world-class player. Like, Phil, I love you, bro, but we need to see it on the pitch again. We know what you're capable of. We've always known what you're capable of. So show us, bro. Show us. Show us why you should be in the England squad for the Euros. You know? Show us why you need to be in the England squad for the Euros. Show us why you are the main man. Show us why you are our franchise player. Because Erling stole your chain, bro. You're not Mr. Manchester City anymore. You know, you were meant to be the heir to De Bruyne's throne. But Haaland's took that, bro. He's Mr. Manchester City now. That was meant to be you. That was meant to be you. From the first day that you came into the starting 11, that was meant to be you. We all thought that was going to be you. What happened, bro? What happened? Like, come on. Like, we need to see it, bro. Because we all know what he's capable of. We all know how good he is. Whether that be off the right, off the left, in the 10. Maybe even as the 8, bro. He was putting in good positions in the 8 last season. Put him next to Anderson. Put him next to Rodri. See what he can do. Because he can do it. He can. Is he going to be our Bernardo replacement? Maybe not. Because we don't know if how Enzo is going to utilise these players. You know, Bernardo was very much a Pep player like that. The way he used him. He was Pep's most important chess piece. Bro, he was like, you know those Swiss Army knives that have all the different tools on, bro? That was Bernardo Silva for Pep. He was a Swiss Army knife, bro. Like, and I think if Pep stayed and Bernardo left, that's what Phil would have been. He would have been a new Bernardo, because he kind of did similar things anyway. Like, he was Mr. like, oh, I don't have anyone to play right wing, or I'll play Phil, or I'll play Bernardo. Or I don't have anyone to play off the left, or I'll play Phil, play Bernardo. Don't have no one to play in the 10, or I'll play Phil, play Bernardo. Like, that's kind of what those two players were. Like, they solved most, if not all, problems that we had in the midfield and attack, bro. Phil Foden used to play false 9. We used to play Phil Foden as a 9. We won the league with Phil Foden as a 9, bro. We can win the league with Phil Foden playing anywhere. But Phil Foden needs to show us that he deserves to be playing there. Phil Foden needs to be putting up the numbers, bro. Doku's putting up the numbers. Everyone was getting onto Doku for 2 seasons in a row, and then Doku becomes our best attacker, our best attacking outlet last season. Even Shirky's come in and stole Phil's chain. Like, everyone liked to watch Phil play football. You know, it was enjoyable, it was good on the eye. Turkey's come and sold that chain because everyone wants to watch Turkey now. You know, like, you know, everyone was rooting for Phil because he's an academy grad. Oh, we've got O'Reilly now. O'Reilly's our left back. You know, O'Reilly's a local lad come through the academy. It's not all about Phil now. Like, you're an adult now, Phil, bro. We can't keep babying you, bro. We can't keep babying. And, you know, it's not even like just the fans. Obviously, the media put him on a pedestal that he doesn't deserve to be on, and it puts more pressure on him because then rival fans are lashing out going, oh, why does everyone see this guy as the Jesus Christ of football when he's not even that good? So it adds extra pressure onto him, right? So yeah, like, we just need to see Phil Foden back at his best, or else I'm gonna be fed up, bro. Like, I might have to join on the Phil Foden hate train if I don't see it from him this season, bro. And I don't want to do that, and you guys will all know I don't want to do that. But I'm going to have to be realistic, and I'm going to have to be unbiased. Because I pride myself on being unbiased and realistic and not delusional. Well, I am delusional in some senses, right? But not like, you know, I'm not blinded by agendas. So come on, Phil, I need it for you. Who do I think City's captain is going to be? Well, I want it to be Rodri. But he's not signing a new contract, so there's no point in him being the captain. I'd say Diaz, but I don't think Diaz is going to start. I don't think Diaz should be starting. So I don't know. I actually don't know who our captain should be, if I'm honest. I really don't. But let's see this team that you want us playing. Donnarumma in goal. Yeah, you've already lost your mind. It should be Trafford. I don't even care. Bro, it needs to be Trafford. So what, you're playing a 4-2-3-1. Donnarumma in goal. You've already lost me there. Nunez right back. Fine. Diaz, captain and centre-back. Yeah, you've lost it, bro. That needs to be Kusanov. Vardio, yes, 100%. O'Reilly, yes. Anderson, Rodri, double pivot, yeah. Shirky in the 10. Semenyo off the right. Doku off the left, Haaland. I agree with most of that, yeah. But you've lost your mind with Diaz and Donnarumma. You've completely lost the plot. Like, I want to respect the rest of the team because you went, what? You went 9 out of 11, yeah. You've got 9 correct out of 11, which is pretty good going. But the 2 you've got wrong, you've completely lost it. Like, you've completely lost it. Donnarumma in goal, bro. Don't even get me started on Donnarumma in goal. Donnarumma in goal is a topic for another day, bro. Because I don't even have the time nor energy to go on a rant about Donnarumma right now. But I've had plenty of rant, bro. I've got a video where I rant about Donnarumma, guys, bro. If you want to know my opinions on Donnarumma, right, go to my channel page. I'll get the video up right now and I'll show on screen, bro. If you want to know my opinions on Gianluigi Donnarumma, go and watch this video. Go and watch this video. If you want to know, go and watch this video right here. Go and watch it. Go and watch that. If you want to know. If you want to know my opinions on Donnarumma, go and watch We Need to Talk About Gianluigi Donnarumma, because I don't want to waste any time on Donnarumma, bro. And Diaz, I feel harsh saying I don't want Diaz to start, but he's not quick enough, bro. If we're gonna play the high line again, Diaz isn't quick enough. Like, it doesn't. The high line doesn't work with Diaz, and he's not good enough with the ball at his feet to bail out his lack of speed. So in the high, bro, if we were playing a deeper line, it's a completely different story. I'd be happy with Diaz playing in there, bro. But if we're playing a high line with Diaz and Donnarumma in goal, bro, I think that's a recipe for disaster. Personally, me personally speaking, I think that's a recipe for disaster, bro. Like, I don't know if I'm going mad, bro. Like, I might be. Again, I might be. I'm not immune to going mad. I'm actually quite prone to going mad, believe it or not, right? Sometimes I lose my mind with some of the things I say, and that's kind of part of my charm as a content creator, yeah. But Diaz and Donnarumma in your starting 11 for Manchester City in 2026-27, you've potentially lost the plot. Like, are you gonna back up before we end this stream? Yeah, are we gonna back up your choices for picking Donnarumma and Diaz? Because I don't want to do you like that. I don't want to draw you out in front of everybody. But I can't let Donnarumma and Diaz slide. I can't, bro. Like, as much as I love Diaz, yeah, and I think he's an excellent out-and-out defender, if we're playing the high line, I can't be watching Diaz play. I can't be watching Diaz struggling to track his runner off his shoulder on the halfway line. I can't do it. And Donnarumma, bro, again, the Donnarumma, I don't fuck with that Donnarumma business anymore. Like, I used to be a huge Donnarumma fan, bro. I used to fend off Donnarumma haters, bro, with a stick, bro. I used to be there, like I don't even have anything to wave around. Like, yeah, I used to just fend them off and be like, bro, nah, stay away from my goat Donnarumma. And then I saw the light, bro. I saw the light, and ever since I saw the light, bro, I can't go back. You can't go back. Once you see the errors to Donnarumma's ways, yeah, you can't unsee them, and it just makes you angry every time you continue to lay your eyes on it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, I don't think I have much else to say, if I'm honest, man. Like, I had a long day today, but I promised to stream. So you get a quick short stream. But obviously today's Thursday. You know, if anyone was unaware of today's date, it is Thursday, the 23rd of July 2026. The regular running of Nathaniel Talks Ball will be back to a Wednesday. I was meant to stream yesterday, and I kind of forgot. I'm not even going to lie to you, I forgot to make the thumbnail. like I know I talk about how I'm never prepared for anything, bro. I was meant to stream yesterday and I forgot to make the thumbnail. So I postponed the stream for today. Bro, I was such a joke, bro. But yeah, so if you enjoyed today's stream and you haven't liked it already, please do like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got big things coming to the channel, bro. Big things. I've got an announcement video coming soon. I'm just working on that now, right? I'm working on the announcement video for all of the big things we've got coming this season, bro. Like, last season, I was trialing a lot of stuff, seeing if I wanted to do it, if I didn't want to do it. Next season, I've got an idea in my head. It's going to be all out. The 2026-27 Premier League season, the start of the Maresca era, on the Nathaniel Talks... that's not my channel name, is it? On the Nathaniel Knows Ball channel, is going to be flames. It's going to be flames. So keep your eye on the community tab. Keep your eye on my channel page for any new videos, yeah? Subscribe with the bell notification on, and you will find out all the latest things. The new series, the new video formats that are going to be coming to this channel. At the start of the season, bro, it's gonna be mad. We're gonna be the best City channel on YouTube. Where unfortunately that's just gonna be us with some of the stuff I've got planned, man. But I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their evening. You know, go and watch every single video on my channel. I think that's probably the best thing you can do with the rest of your evening. Go and binge watch every video on my channel and like them all. Would be hugely appreciated. You know what I mean? But yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Thank you for tuning into this this stream, and I will see you next week on Wednesday at 7:30, not at 8, at 9. Sorry, again, I've went mad. Not at 9, at 7:30. I'll see you Wednesday for episode 4, and that is going to be the time slot every week, bro. It's going to be the time slot every week, and you guys need to be on me streaming this this series. Bro, you guys need to be on me. You need to be going. You need to be at me. You need to be commenting my videos. Nathan, why have you not scheduled next week's episode of Nathaniel Talks Ball? Nathan, what are you going to be discussing on next week's episode of Nathaniel Talks Ball? Nathan, stop procrastinating. You need to be hitting me in my YouTube comments, at me on Twitter, DMing me on Twitter, those things. You need to stay on top of it, bro. You guys need to make sure I'm consistent, and then you get all the best content. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good rest of your evening.